Welcome to the Orlando Lions Den Podcast, your number one Orlando City podcast. For the fans, by the fans. For the fans, by the fans. Keeping you in the know on all things Orlando City since 2018.
Hello. Welcome in to another edition of the Orlando Lions Den podcast. I see Cleon's with me here. We're rocking the old school Christian Higuita. No Higuita, no party. How you doing?
Doing all right, man. Doing all right after that masterclass of disaster in Montreal. You know, I guess they took my little Canada rant personally.
They really did.
See, if they follow my advice, that loss in Canada last week, that loss in Canada doesn't happen. See,
that's true. All right, look at this. You're just trying to expand the world. You know, trying to build a bigger community.
That's all I'm doing.
That's all we're doing. This is just Cleon's out here doing the Lord's work. You know, we'll just leave it at that. All right. Well, I want to go ahead before I begin anything on this show. I want to go ahead and give a quick shout out to sponsored by Kit Kat. I want to give a quick shout out to friend of the show. He was on back in 2019. Original Orlando City commentator Jeff Radcliffe. Unfortunately, it seems as though he passed away this past week. So I just want to go ahead and give condolences. Love to him, his family, his loved ones. Again, we had him on the show. David actually gave a shout out earlier today saying, we should reshare the episode with him. So I went back into the archives, dug it up, and retweeted that out. So if you're a fan and want to check out an old episode from 2019, I'm going to go ahead. I'll make sure that I kind of try and link it into the description of this one too, because that's when it was 6 years ago. But I always try and keep things PG on the show. But I think we can all agree that fuck cancer. It's the worst. And for Jeff, we'll miss you, and to his family, we love you and we're thinking about you. Awful stuff. So, all right. Now that I did the sad stuff, because I felt that was the right thing to start off with today. We got to talk about Montreal. We got to talk about the salary dump that came out today, which is that's like Christmas for me and Cleon. So we're the right people to have on for the show. And then we'll also go ahead and talk. We got 2 games this week. We're recording this on Tuesday night. We got Philly at home on Wednesday. And then we have the first of 2 back-to-back home games against Atlanta United on Saturday. But before we do that, first, quick sponsor shout-outs. Chad McGibbon, if you're trying to buy a home in the Central Florida area, at Chad McGibbon on Twitter. He's got you covered. QR codes on the screen. We'll link you there. If not, shout out the podcast. We can get you connected through there. If you're trying to buy a home in the Central Florida area, Leo Gonzalez with the Epic Mortgage Team, powered by U Mortgage, 407-844-7696. If you're trying to buy, refi, Leo's got you covered. I don't know if the housing market's great right now or not. Keep looking at things, and things are getting a little cheaper by me in Colorado. So maybe things are turning up for buyers. I don't know. But when you're buying that house, you're probably going to need insurance too. Hit up Eddie Cruz, our man Eddie. QR code's on the screen. If not, DM the podcast. We'll get you connected. He's got you on car insurance, boat insurance, house insurance, all kinds of insurance. We'll go from there. So shout out Fladoodler David in the chat saying all love to Jeff and his family. Orlando City OG. We appreciate that, man. Absolutely. Sorry that we're on a little bit earlier today. That's a little bit my fault, but one of my old college roommates is in town. I'm trying to go say what's up.
Trap. Everybody called it.
We called it. All of us called it. So
Everybody.
Trap game is a trap. We fall 2-0 to Montreal up in Canada. From an attacking standpoint, this game was ugly. I feel like we really didn't get a whole lot of opportunities. We were on the back foot a bunch. And unfortunately, it comes down to it seemed as though Robin just kind of tripped and fell and decided that his best option when tripping and falling was to go ahead and shoulder tackle Luca Petrasso. I believe it was Luca Petrasso. Take him down, concedes a penalty kick, of which Rios for Montreal converts. And then late game substitution, our former friend, Dagger Dan Thorhalson, scored in the 97th minute. And if that celebration tells you anything, all you people that idolized him, loved him, crying about him, missing him, he does not miss you. So I have no other better way to say it, because, usually in a situation when a guy scores against his former team, if there was mutual respect or anything like that on the way out, he doesn't celebrate, keeps it calm, doesn't go anything crazy. For Dagger to celebrate the way that he did, clearly, like I had told people in the preseason, he wanted out. He didn't want to be here anymore. He didn't feel like there was good playing time opportunities. That's why he wanted to leave. And he goes, so clearly that's the way the situation is. Sorry for those people who are going to be upset by that, but call it like I see it. That's the way that it is. So Cleon, what are your thoughts on this game besides the fact that it was ugly as hell?
That game was, I said it when we were live watching it. The game, that at least the first half, there was no other way to describe the game but weird. It was just like
weird, yeah.
It was like we almost felt like we was in a way dominating, but getting dominated at the same time. And then it was just like it's just a bunch of strange stuff was happening, man. It's just but nothing was going for us. We had nothing going our way. In attack, it was nothing, man. Everybody was ghost town, and that whole and all the people that were looking good the game before, everybody was, I don't know if that's tired or what, but I don't know. I feel like everyone's tired. Everyone's the same though. So I actually hate using that excuse, honestly.
Well, I hate using tired as an excuse, especially when we had multiple 2 game a week weeks. And then this was the first game that we had with a full week off, without anything midweek, in at least the past little bit. So I hate using tired as an excuse when, like, legitimately they got more rest before this one than they've had in a while.
Yeah.
And for me, like, I will give a shout out to my dog, Justin Ellis, because I do feel like he was genuinely the most bright player for us in this game when it came from an attacking standpoint. He got to show off a lot of his tools. He had more range with his passing, was hitting some through balls, some crossers. Like, I don't think we were playing him in a position he really should have been, because he was not playing centrally a whole lot. He was getting
not only super deep, but off to the right as well.
Yeah, he was getting split wide. And it's one of those things where I know a lot of us were kind of like, yeah, it makes sense to give Tyrese Spicer a shot starting because of how well he's played in the past couple games. But they didn't play him the same way that he's been playing off the bench. Like, I feel like he was getting played a lot more centrally rather than playing from the wing, where he was finding all that success, combining with Angulo on the left side. Like, it just didn't make a whole lot of sense to, I feel like, any of us. I see this from Tom, a huge bright spot. Perelman definitely went out of his way. So, okay, well, you give me the perfect segue here. Because while he did give him some props there, the rest of his post game, in my opinion, was an unmitigated disaster. I don't know, Cleon, if you watched it, but
no, post game, no,
yeah, his post game press conference, because, like, he got asked by, I want to say it was Mike Gramajo who might have asked him initially, like, when it came to the substitutions, like, what was the thought process there? Because it seemed like, it was kind of conceding the fact that we're going to make a draw. We're making defensive substitutions here.
Oh, that one. Yeah, I saw that.
And he said, he's like, I don't think that we were making any defensive substitutions. And I was like, well, you pulled Justin Ellis and put in Bracalo for him. Like, when you went further down it, like, you pulled Marine and like, after we went down, you pulled, like, Marine and stuff later, but you still subbing out defenders. Like, you put Thiago in the 96th minute. Like, I don't understand what your thought, because I completely understand when you decided to pull Tyrese Spicer for Duncan McGuire and kind of go with the 2-striker look up top. Like, that makes sense. Like, that I'm down with giving something like that a shot. But then you also still have Duncan McGuire playing far out to the left. Like,
that was weird.
That was really weird.
That was
like,
weird.
It doesn't make it. What we're doing from a tactical standpoint doesn't make sense from a substitution standpoint. And then he also went on, like, I think then Alonso went ahead and asked him basically the same question in Spanish. And he's like, I already answered that in English, but I'll answer it for you in Spanish now. It's the same answer. It's like he basically tried to give him a get out of jail free card. Like, hey, your question and your answer to that question was pretty bad and didn't make a lot of sense. Do you want to fix that? And he basically just said, nah. Like, because he also said like later, he's like, I feel like we created more chances in this game, which like statistically, no, you didn't. Like you guys were relatively even in possession, but got outshot like 23-8. Like it doesn't make sense. I see Tom's continuing to comment saying he went on to say season is long and it is what it is. He also said it is what it is 3 or 4 weeks ago, because that was the other time that he's completely pissed me off in a press conference. And I wouldn't be surprised. Like, granted, obviously I have faith that the front office is still searching for a coach right now, because they should be, because Martin Perelman clearly is not the answer. He was never going to be the answer. It doesn't really matter what the question is. He's not the answer. But for them to go ahead and, kind of still, obviously they got to wait for the European seasons to end. That's just unfortunately based on the kind of caliber of talent that they are looking for. That's just the truth here is realistically they want a coach that maybe has that pedigree from overseas. That's what's going to be holding things off. But like the way he's handling himself in pressers, I feel like is just leading to the fact that he's not going to be here too much longer. David said he also said today that he needs the World Cup break to train after, saying that he'd prefer games over training for weeks. Yeah. More things that don't make sense, and more things that are probably not going to happen, because right now I just can't see us keeping you in the job at this point. And like, obviously you guys know, I'm never going to be in favor of somebody losing the job. Like, I don't like to advocate that everyone should be fired. I'm not saying that, but like at this point, he legitimately is talking himself out of even having a job with the B team. Like, he's coaching himself out of even having that capability. Like, Cleon, I know I talk tactically, I'm talking post game. Like, your assessments on Perelman, I feel like, are no different than mine at this point.
It's kind of like the kids, man. It's kind of like the kids. The same deal with the kids, man. It's just a lot of inconsistency. You know what I mean? And I feel like in a different situation, he's fine.
Yeah.
But we have too many people learning on the job right now to be able to afford to also have the coach learning on the job. You know what I mean? And I feel like I'm not
fantastic analogy.
Like, I'm not gonna write Perelman off and say like he just has no coaching talent whatsoever. You know what I mean? But he's not somebody that's already ready made and ready to go, and you can just drop into a situation. He absolutely would need an entire off season, everything, to be able to put things into place. He would need probably a whole full season before he can really get the grasp of everything, and for him to grow, because he's a young coach. You know what I mean? At least as far as experience goes, he's a young coach. So we're just not. He could be a case of right coach, wrong time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's I'm not saying he's the right coach, but I'm saying even if I wouldn't be surprised if like later on, 5-6 years from now, he's a good coach. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? But it's just this team's too young, and this team's too inexperienced themselves. You know what I mean? So we need somebody more proven.
No, I think you absolutely hit the nail on the head. Yeah, especially this team is too unproven to also have an unproven head coach. I think is got to be one of the dropping an absolute bar, if I can say that. You had to listen to all rolling loud from a distance, and now you're dropping bars. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Sorry, I got to make that joke. Did you hear that person who got hit in the head with the trash can there?
Yeah.
Damn degenerates in Orlando at Rolling Loud throwing trash cans at people. Crazy. Tom also said here, point blank, to say it another way, this guy cannot be the one coaching Griezmann. From what I've understood, obviously Griezmann has been in communication with Ricardo this entire time. They've been talking. He's been paying attention to our games, watching tape and having feedback, and like the kind of stuff that realistically you want to be hearing about a guy that's coming in and is going to be demanding a very hefty salary. He seems like he's locked in as far as what his future is going to be like here, which is exciting. He alone does not fix this team, though. And that's why, that's where the importance of us talking coaching comes from. Like, I don't want to be beating this drum, every single week, but we also decided to go ahead and fire our coach after, just a couple weeks into the season. And while we got, a couple results under the new guy, those couple results, even like the Open Cup games are so far from promising performances. Like, to just put it bluntly, like 1-0 against Naples, who's 2 divisions below us, and 4-3 where we were down 3 times against New England, who didn't bring a single star player and only 2 first-team players total with them. Like, they're not promising performances. It's one of those things where I don't think he's coaching us to win games. Like, more so than I think players are having individual moments of brilliance that are willing us to wins. I think that's more likely what's happening than us, than him being a tactical masterclass. Because I'm also, like I said, confused. How are you watching this game saying, "Oh, we created more chances," when we literally are getting absolutely outshot, getting out touched in the box. I had a friend of the show, Aaron, retweeted something or tweeted something out this week comparing side-by-side stats through, 10 games or whatever it is of Perelman and a mystery coach. And Perelman is only slightly better than the mystery coach. And then I texted him. I was like, "Oh, is this the last 10 games of Oscar Pareja? And it's just showing that it's not better." He's like, "No." He's like, "Those stats were James O'Connor." And I was like, "Oh." Throw up in my mouth, man. I don't want that's a name and a memory that I don't want to see anymore. So but at the end of the day, realistically, where we're at, guys, it's got to be better. Whether you want to go ahead, like this team is young, they need solid leadership to be successful, and they need experienced leadership. That's where it's going to come from. I don't think, like, Perelman, he's had a couple gigs in, like, I believe Central America and lower divisions of Argentina and OCB. So he's good with working with, I guess, younger talent, allegedly. Maybe that's supposed to be what it is. But, like, it's not translating right now to a top-level league. Not saying that we're top, like, European level or anything like that, but, like, the top levels of the Americas, it's not translating right now. And if he's the coach during Leagues Cup, goddamn, we're going to have a minus 15 goal differential just against Monterrey.
That little group we're in is looking disastrous.
They're looking at us like their finger looking good. It's gonna be don't want to see that. So all right, we'll go ahead and talk some stock up, stock down here. And then we got a couple fun things to talk about: upcoming games, salary dump, all that fun stuff. So
I can't wait for that one.
Oh yeah, that's coming up after this. The only thing I'm going to have to ask you is if you see stuff in the chat you want to talk about, let me know, because I'm not going to be able to see the screen.
Yeah, I'm watching.
I've never shared the screen on this before, so I don't know how it's going to work. But all right, who's your stock up, stock down from this week?
Ooh, stock up. I'm gonna actually go. I'm gonna go. I go again. Stock up.
Yeah, I'll go. Yeah.
Yeah. He's just proved. I don't know, bro. He's just really proven himself to me at this point. Stock down. I would give it to Robin for his little chop block he wants to do. But
15 yards, man. Personal.
I'm gonna give him a pass for a second. I'm gonna give him a pass for just a second.
You know, once you hit your mid-30s, sometimes you just kind of fall down a little bit.
Yeah.
And it,
yeah, but I'll go Perelman. He might have did himself in on this one. If he had any even outside remote shot, he probably did himself in there.
I agree. I do. So I saw Tom mention, he said Ellis and Janssen, Ellis for stock up. I'm assuming Janssen for stock down. I understand giving Janssen the stock down. Just because you mentioned Iago, I do got to go ahead and say that one possible criticism of him is he picked up his 4th yellow card on the year. So that just means one more yellow card and he gets suspended for a week. So who knows? Maybe he gets a yellow card this week. He's out for Atlanta over the weekend, but he's rested for Atlanta midweek. You know, maybe that's what happens.
Yeah. Janssen. Tom's got a little comment down there. He said even before the foul, he cost us the game. He's had a little. I mean, he's been out for a while too, and he's old. So you're gonna get a little bit of inconsistency with him too. So I'm trying to give him a pass. So I didn't officially give him, even though he got an honorable mention. But yeah, he's had a couple moments, man. He's had a couple moments. Because what was the one where we gave up the goal? He was way out wide or something. It was like on a break, and I don't know what the hell he did. He did something. Dude just went straight past him. It was like, I don't know if that was Miami, or that was like the match before that.
Might have been the match before it.
I think it was the match before, but he's had a couple. He's had a couple little moments like that where they've been catching him 1v1, and it's been a little bit of ugly.
It has been. Oh, sorry, I'm looking. I'm getting ready to tweet something out, and I see that Spicy Gnocchi.
I wasn't talking about. I actually forgot about the Messi tackle, but that wasn't the one I was talking about. I was talking about one way out of space where it was like somebody hit a long ball to somebody on the left wing, and it was pretty much just Janssen back, and it's like you know what? It was at home, and it was like he was kind of jogging towards it. And I don't know.
I remember what you're talking. I just can't remember the exact moment.
It was like hazy, but so I forgot about the Messi one too, but whatever. He got away with that one.
He did. Just see Spicy Gnocchi saying that I did notice that Antoine Griezmann was not in the lineup or the subs for the Madrid game today. You are actually incorrect on that. He started and went 90 minutes. So just heads up there. He did play actually. But okay. So I'm with you in the fact that Janssen is definitely deserving of that, but I'm also going to be going in the route of Perelman, but I'm going to kind of just dig deeper into it, because the thing that's kind of helped us look better the past couple weeks is playing a more defensive-minded midfielder next to Brian Ojeda. I understand that Edward Atuesta is healthy, but I've been saying it for weeks, and I feel like a broken record at this point. Atuesta and Brian Ojeda, we have not figured out how to get those two guys to coexist as starters in the midfield. They're the opposite ends of a magnet, man. They repel each other. Like, the midfield is too wide open. They are not connected. Like Otavio for the first half against Miami, like, granted the first half was rough. None of those goals were his fault. Like, I don't look at any of those things as being Otavio's fault. And he got under Messi's skin, was a little bit of a bruiser. He got subbed out for a meaningful reason. But like the other games, I feel like against like Charlotte, he had a great game. Like he was fantastic against Charlotte. At this point, if you're going to be going ahead and look, you also got Wilder Cartagena, who's healthy and has been on the bench for the past couple weeks. Like, he has to get ramped up to game speed, but like the two more attacking 8 style midfielders, whether Ojeda's a little bit more box to box and Atuesta's a little bit more of an attacking 8, but like those two players can't be on the field at the same time together, which I'm going to talk more about them when we talk about salaries, because that's a questionable thing. But like, those guys repel each other. They are not like coherent partners. Yeah. And if we can't figure that out, we're not going to be successful at all this year, because the midfield is just a gaping hole. So like Perelman, I feel like it's like, let me put in the best players and just hope that saves my job rather than, put in the best players for the system. And it does not work. So I hope against Philly, we don't see the two of them paired up together again.
I feel like those two only even have a chance of working is if you're going like three in the midfield. You know what I mean? I mean, like with like 2 8s and a 6. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So we're like they'd have to be up here and they got to have somebody behind them because both of them have the same weakness.
Yeah.
So it's
exactly it does. The two of them together does not work unless you're changing the formation. Which if you're going to go ahead and and if you're going to play like a 4-3-3 or something like that can probably work. If you were to go ahead and maybe put like Ojeda out wide and then still play like a 6 behind them, but then you're going to lose a little bit of like that attacking sauce. But like we know that Atuesta can have some of that in the center of the field.
Yeah.
Like we know that it's there. It's just when he's caught between two minds of having to be attacking and having to be defensive when he's not a very defensive player, it doesn't work. So that's my big issue. I see Tom also mentioning he would have gone Spicer, but I also never would have started him, so I don't blame him. Like I said, the issue with Spicer was the tactics. Like, I don't blame Spicer for not having a great game either, but I do blame him for the fact that we didn't play him the way that he's been playing as a sub. Like, they decided to go ahead and not stick with that game plan. I could also stock down the subs because of the fact that I thought they were terrible. But a stock up, I give my stock up to Justin Ellis. Obviously, I've been one of the bigger supporters of him for the past 2 years in hoping that we were going to get him on a homegrown deal. Happy that we finally are. And he was really giving us the best offensive spark in this game. I would say Griffin Dorsey was too. But again, the tactics confuse me. Why is Griffin Dorsey our furthest forward attacker as a right wing back? I feel like more times than not, he was the guy who was forward the most. And it's just stuff that doesn't make sense to me. Like, I don't understand. Like, I understand that you're playing with wingbacks. The wingbacks are going to be more aggressive, but he's playing up ahead of Justin Ellis and Tyree Spicer, and Martin Ojeda. He's playing up ahead of all of them regularly.
To be fair, that's kind of his style anyway. I'm not talking about Dorsey. It is. Well, Dorsey too, but I'm talking about with the coaching because you got to remember that's how we. And I know Griffin Dorsey is not Freeman. You know?
He's not.
But that's how we play. That's how we play. And you got to remember who's the one that had Freeman playing like that before he got here? Perelman.
Yeah.
At OCB. So, I mean, that's kind of his thing.
I agree.
So, while it maybe doesn't make sense because, they're not the same level of talent, Dorsey's, he's usually good in attack. Probably better attacking than he is defending, but I don't know. I don't know if we're good enough to be able to get away with that.
Yeah, we got Mauricio Garcia saying Spicer cannot be the starter. He needs the defense to be tired to be effective. I disagree with that a bit, just because again, I feel like if we used him how we use him as a sub, he would have been a more effective against a defense for Montreal that was literally missing their best center back because he was suspended. But we played him centrally. He's good attacking the flanks. He's gotten a better cross on him. If you look at the game against the recent performances, he's been better that way. So I think that's really what the issue is. So, all right, let me just go ahead. I'm tweeting out that we're about to start talking about the salary information. And let me go ahead and get to that, because that's our favorite part of this. What is he? Tactics. Tactics. This is the argument against Perelman. He loses his games at the start, middle, and end of games. I appreciate the sorry. Last hate on him, I promise. I'm not going to believe you on that one, and that's okay. All right, so let's go ahead and talk our favorite time for me and Cleon. MLS salary dump day. Let me go ahead and share my screen. I already have this up. It should be. Let me go ahead and make sure that it's sharing properly. It looks like it is. I'll go ahead and get rid of the players here in the corner so that way we could see it a little bit better. So
Bro,
what I want.
I'm sorry, but every year this thing comes out, I get more and more confused on why the hell we never have any game.
It doesn't make sense. Yeah, that's going to be part of what we talk about.
Never. I don't get it because we don't spend big money on transfer fees, and we don't spend big money on salaries. So I don't get it. Where's the money?
It does not make sense this time around. So first, I'm going to go ahead and give a quick shout out to 615 Soccer. They put this together. I'll go ahead and link this in the post for it on Twitter, and I'll put it in the Spotify description as well if you want to check this out. But they put this tool together, basically pulling the data from that, dividing it up by team, by position, by player designation, which is all stuff that's really, really cool. It doesn't really exist in what MLSPA actually dumps out. So we are currently, I believe we ranked 27th in total spend this year. Salary right now at $13.7 million a year. Our designated players, important to remember, Brian Ojeda is a DP in name only. He will be bought off of a DP spot as soon as Griezmann gets here. He's just there for the vibes right now. But like as Cleon said, where's all the allocation money right now? Because we got 3 TAM players in Duncan McGuire, Edward Atuesta, and David Bracalo, who did not have hefty transfer fees.
Not even high.
They're not even high.
Like,
they're not even high TAM. Like, you got to remember, they can be up to like, realistically, I believe right now they could be up to like 1.7 million, and they could be bought down with $1 million worth of TAM. So like, and we should have gotten an additional $3 million in allocation money from the transfer of Alex Freeman, which was I'm still of the belief that was something that was not recorded because it did not need to be yet. The window was still open.
I'm sorry, but to Derek, yes, we spent $20 million, but that's all on U22s.
Yeah,
don't even hit the cap.
We
don't use allocation for that. So where's the money?
That's true. Yeah, the U22s. That's a very valid point. The U22s do not count. Like, you got Thiago making $600K, Otavio making $569, Iago making $551. Those guys all count. I believe Iago and Thiago count $200,000 against the cap tops, and Otavio counts $150K against the cap because of them being U22s, and their transfer fees do not matter in the calculation of things. So the possibility of the 11 million spent on them does not factor into anything. We did trade allocation money for Brian Ojeda. We did trade allocation money for Griffin Dorsey. Those are true. But like, we didn't, we got some allocation money back for, I believe, an international spot. We got some allocation money back for Dagger Dan Thorhalson. We didn't trade anybody else, did we? I have a spreadsheet on my own.
In league, I don't think so.
In league, no.
Yes. I know we said Thomas Williams, but I can't remember.
We got that was it. That was
I remember like $100K about something, but I don't know if that was this year or I don't know how that was.
His was an international spot, and then add-ons up to like $100K, and then so was and Shaq Muhammad, I think, was like $100K. We got $100K for him because I think even though he was out of contract, we held the rights to him. But so not a lot of money for them, but for Dagger Dan, I think we still got like $600K in allocation, which is more money. It was a relatively expensive trade, like one of the bigger outgoings that we've ever done as a club.
And then, did we get money or did we not? I don't understand.
I don't think we do, honestly. Like, I know, I know we're getting. I believe we are getting money because of, we heard that there was the clause was supposed to be sale on profit, but apparently there might have been some legalese put in there, so that way we still get money regardless. Rumors, we've heard that, but I don't know if that money can be converted to anything. So that's the thing. But we came into this year the window was still open when MLS dropped the roster profiles, and it showed that we had $700 something thousand or $800,000 in allocation money. So I can't imagine that we spent, doing the trades, spending money on these 3 players that have allocation money tied to them, and Brian Ojeda will have allocation money tied to him as well. And that includes the $3 million that we could have gotten from Alex Freeman. Like, there's just no way that was not included. Because if that money doesn't exist, I could see us only having $800,000 with the trades, because we did trade between Griffin Dorsey and Brian Ojeda. Like, that's close to, I mean, that was at least like 1.3 million in targeted allocation money that we traded this year. Like, we traded a good amount for those 2 guys, or 1.2, maybe 1.1, 1.2, somewhere around there. We traded a good amount of money for those guys. But yeah, it doesn't make sense to me, man. Like, and like, why, like I was saying, I was going to talk a little bit of crap about it. Brian Ojeda and Edward Atuesta, are 2, not counting Martin Ojeda, they're our 2 highest paid midfielders, and they can't figure out how to coexist. So both of them got new contracts this year. Atuesta got a new contract this year after the season has started. Brian Ojeda got a new contract when he was traded. Griffin Dorsey got a new contract when he was traded. Maxime Crépeau got a new contract. Like, that, he's. I don't think that's an unfair number for him, 600,000. But he also has not had a good defense in front of him, so his numbers obviously are affected by that. I'm not mad at the Robin Janssen or Wilder Cartagena numbers. Tyrese Spicer got a slight raise. That's fine. Nico Rodriguez does not hit the cap, so we don't have to worry about that. Justin Ellis, guaranteed comp in his first year as a homegrown of 112 is actually really high for a homegrown player. So that's part of why he held out. I feel like I'm kind of rambling about these numbers. I don't know. Do you have anything to add, Cleon, outside of how we're confused as to where the allocation money's at?
Yeah, I don't see it.
I don't see it either.
I just don't see it, bro. I just don't see it.
Yeah.
Like, so especially when you look, and it's like, we could talk about like individual players and stuff like that. Like, for me, we don't have anybody that's even out of line. Like, I don't understand how they got Martin Ojeda to resign after coming off his season last year. I assumed
we were giving him $3 million. Yeah, I assumed we were giving him $3 million.
At least over $2 million at minimum.
So, and I know a lot of people are going to be upset, being like, "Oh, look at all these clubs spending all this money. Like, we don't spend any money." I do want to go ahead and say, yes, we are down here at 27th right now. When Griezmann comes in, we will be somewhere between here and here. Like, we're going to be in this range. Yes, he is probably going to be getting paid that much money. But again, he's a designated player. I don't care how much money you're paying him. Like, if he produces, I don't give a crap. But, like, that's the thing is, we have, Urchin Kara didn't really produce, was not worth the money. Luis Muriel didn't really produce, wasn't worth the money. These kind of things, like, granted, if we were in the situation going and looking at players, if we were paying someone $25 million a year to produce what Lionel Messi does, I wouldn't be mad. Youngmin Son getting $11 million a year, which is going to be around where I think Antoine Griezmann's probably going to fall. He's going to be in this, maybe between this $9 to $11 million a year range. And for how he's still producing with Madrid, I'm not going to be mad about that. If he produces for us as well. Rodrigo De Paul is a total overpay. San Diego FC is paying Irving Lozano $9 million a year to not play for them, which is crazy. He's not playing for them at all.
I see why he's sitting out though, because I'm sorry, you ain't getting that money back either. If it's me,
yeah. Oh yeah, no, I
crazy, bro.
That's why they said you're not going to transfer me. I signed that contract. You're paying me that money for sure. I get it. I would say I look at. I hate to. Granted, I know this was created by a Nashville site, and I don't care for Nashville, but like getting Sam Surridge and Hani Mukhtar for about $11 million combined, that's a hell of a deal. Like those are really good league players for that price.
Don't forget Espinoza. Espinoza's right. He's right up under there. He's like 2.8 or something.
Oh, I'm going down.
So Nashville is spending a little bit.
Yeah, well, 2.4. But 2.4. I mean, I would have paid 2.4 for Christian Espinoza as well. Absolutely.
I don't see our highest paid is 1.7. I mean, I'll take it. This is why it confused me. Like, where is our money, bro?
This is also like just looking at Facundo Torres. I feel like this is also
Facu,
like
yes.
double what we were paying him when he was here.
What?
I do not think that I could go back and look through my spreadsheets. I feel like he didn't really get much over $2 million a year.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, so that's kind of crazy.
I think it was like 1.8 or something.
I think it was around 1.8. Yeah. Granted, like the caps
he was under a mil for a lot.
But
if he has back, I mean, they said he has to come back here first. But I see if he's looking for $4 million. I see why they turned it down. I want to pay.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that is a rumor that we heard. We had heard that he had actually approached us about coming back first, and for that price, I get it. Especially because we play a slightly different style now. It was, and him and Martin Ojeda didn't really work together well. But this is also your friendly reminder that spending heavy doesn't always make for good teams. Spending low doesn't always make for good teams. This league can be a crapshoot sometimes. Atlanta United is barely ahead of us on the table. I think we're actually technically tied. They're just ahead of us on goal differential. And they're the third highest spending team in the league. The Galaxy have struggled. San Diego has been they're a good team, but they've struggled this year. Columbus Crew have struggled. There's been a lot of ups and downs in this area. How is Houston spending $20 million a year? That's crazy. Like, who are they spending their money on? $3 million for Ponce, 2.5 for Bogus, $2 million for Guilherme. That's crazy. So, sorry, I got distracted.
You know how much you hate it. How you feel about Berkey on his 2.8 or something?
Oh, is he still on that?
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah, Berkey's 2.8.
Berkey is on $2.8 million. That is nuts as far as like MLS goes. Spending that amount of money on a goalkeeper to be, I'm gonna check my phone right now.
What about Miles Robinson? $4 million center back, bro.
$4 million for Miles?
Miles
That's
Robinson,
nuts. Absolutely nuts. For St. Louis FC, they're paying $2.8 million to be 14th in the West, 28th overall. They're behind us. They only have 9 points on the season. They do have a game in hand on us, but that's crazy.
What I like about this, the way they formatted this, which we haven't really had before, is you can literally split it by positions and stuff like that. So it's like you can actually just look and you can see how we're paying our people compared to like other people. So like if you're going goalkeepers, I think Crepeau is like
16th,
16th or something. That's one of our higher ends, bro. Like center backs, everyone else is paying a lot for center backs.
Yeah. Oh yeah. There's multiple
everybody's paying
center backs above.
You see how you got that? You got the split to defenders. You can actually like split just the center backs, left wing, striker, all that. Yeah, you just type it in. See how where it says search player right there?
Yeah. Oops.
So like I was even looking at strikers. Everyone, we like a lot of us, we're looking at our thing. We're like, oh, this guy's so overpaid. Bro, we're not. We're just it's overpaid for what we're used to, but we're not paying nobody nothing, man.
Yeah, I mean
all our center backs is like our center backs are way down there.
Yeah, I mean our first center back being a TAM player on there is David Bracalo, and he's the 50th
look at the rank. Look at the
50,
what is he? 50.
Yeah,
he's the
50th highest paid center back in the league, and then we go
There's
down
only 30
further.
teams in the league.
Iago's at 65, Robbins at 66, and Iago doesn't. Again, his $551K does not count. He counts for $200,000.
Even if you're doing it like that, you're like, okay, there's 30 teams in the league. Most teams got 2 center backs. So like, if you're like 60, you're basically you got the cheapest center back pairing there is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even at strikers, like Duncan
37,
and he's 37th, bro.
37th, yeah.
He's a 37th highest, actually 35 because they got a couple. I think we got a couple of left wingers in there. But
he's
like 32 or 33 or something.
I did search by it. I guess
so. It's like we're just, I don't know. I mean,
yeah, it didn't take him out.
We got to start spending some. I mean, I know we spent a crap ton on one guy just now with Griezmann, but we gotta invest a little more, especially in that center backs and stuff like that, man.
Okay, well, searching right back didn't work because I was kind of curious where Griffin Dorsey ranks, but he's got to be one of the higher paid running right backs in the league. So it's okay though.
Yeah, I don't know why the right back one didn't work. I tried to see that too, but the right back,
yeah,
I don't know why it didn't. Something's wrong. It doesn't pop up.
That's all good. All right, I'm gonna stop sharing this now. But if you're interested, 615 Soccer, I'm gonna go ahead and make sure that I share that link for everyone. So that way we could go ahead and you can all go ahead and take a look at it. I think just taking a look at other things that we spend on transfers within MLS players. We bought Brian Ojeda, we bought Griffin Dorsey. Those were the two expensive players that we got before we did it. Shout out Tom mentioning, before I forget, part 1 of the 4-year Team USA documentaries tonight. I'll watch that. But I'm going to watch that after I watch Punisher: One Last Kill because I'm really excited about that. I see Derek saying that Nashville is still a tragedy organization. I respect the game there. Emmanuel Latte Loth.
They're spending some money, though.
They are spending some money.
They're sneaky spending money.
So I appreciate all the comments while I was doing that. I just can't, unfortunately, see the screen when I'm doing it. That's me learning how I do that. So appreciate it. But yeah, I'll make sure that I share the links to that when I get everything posted. So that way you guys can all use that too. Shout out to them for putting together a way cooler tool than we have had before. Absolutely love to see it because like basically all that you normally get from MLSPA is basically just like it's a scrollable Excel sheet that's in the middle of their website. And like me and Cleon copy and paste the entire thing to put it into Excel so we can actually have fun with it because you can't manipulate anything with it.
Yeah, you can't compare and stuff like that. Like now it's so much easier to see like, how we're spending our money on, by position and things like that.
Exactly. So I love to see it. Great tool. Highly recommend everyone use it. Yep. So, all right. So time to do some predictions. We got 2 games this week. Philly, who is last place in the Eastern Conference, and I believe they are last place in all of MLS. I might be wrong. That might actually belong to Sporting Kansas City. That does belong to Sporting Kansas City now. Sorry. Philadelphia is not last place in all of MLS. They're 29th. 1 win, 3 losses, or 3 draws, 8 losses on the year. -9 goal differential. Sitting on 6 points. They have struggled mightily under Bradley Carnell, which I believe at this point it is safe to say that he is only a 1-year coach because he got 1 year in St. Louis, and man, they were awesome. And then they fired him year 2 because they fell off they were figured out and they fell off everything. He won the Supporter Shield last year with Philadelphia. This year they are one of the worst teams in the league. So Bradley Carnell, can we be his end? Cleon, what's your prediction for this week?
Well, I was coming in here after that tragedy loss we just had. I was coming in feeling negative, but now you just talk about how bad Philly is, and it's give me a little more positive outlook on this game. So since Philly's got 2 L's in it, I'm gonna say we lose 2-0.
We lose 2-0. Hey, so for me, I am gonna start speaking things into existence. Because we have not had a shutout in a real game outside of the Open Cup. We have not had a shutout this year. I am going to predict, you mentioned the 2 L's in Philly. It's because the 2 L's for them. I'm going to go the exact opposite of you. Give me a 2-0 win. And Philly just continues to have the worst sports week humanly possible. The Flyers got swept last week. The 76ers got swept this week. Go Knicks. Shout out my Knicks for winning that. Absolutely. They destroyed their will to live. I'm sorry. As a Knicks fan, I was happy as a pig in shit, man. I was having so much fun. Go New York, go. But I need to see Philly continuing to fall apart as a city, as everything. I want to see them continue to struggle. So I got them losing 2-0. Go ahead and give me an Ellis goal and an Ojeda goal. I will go ahead and give a quick shout. Marco Pasalic fully back in training. It's been reported. He's posted that he's back. He's questionable for this game. I can see him making the bench potentially on Wednesday. I think he will be back in the starting lineup on Saturday. I will see him back in the starting lineup on Saturday. I do not think that he will start on Wednesday. But he's, granted, we've mentioned that he might be on his way out in the summer window post World Cup. He still needs to get some prep games in before he gets the call up to Croatia to go to the World Cup. So he needs to get fresh and make sure he's loose. So I'm going to go ahead and give Justin Ellis and Martin Ojeda the goals in this game. 2-0 win. You got a 2-0 loss, which means it's probably going to be a 0-0 tie. So I'd still take a shutout at that point.
I don't know, bro. This weather's out here right now. Unless this weather changes in the next 24 hours, this weather's looking real crazy out here. So
it's going to be bad tomorrow?
We're historically midweek rain games are normally pretty damn good.
Okay, well, I mean, if it's a midweek rain game, obviously, like I can't control the weather, so that's going to affect my prediction because that means bet both teams to score on your Hard Rock bet.
It smells like a rain game tomorrow. 65% of rain. Yep, a rain game tomorrow. So that's some more positivity coming your way. So I'm gonna bump it to 2-1 loss.
Okay, there you go. Yeah, I don't know what the betting on. Okay, hold on, I'll bring up DraftKings out here because I don't have to use Hard Rock because Hard Rock sucks. So if it's going to be a heavy rain game, I will go ahead and give you my quick prediction here on what the smartest bet is for this game. So let me go ahead, Orlando. Where is it? There it is. I can't imagine both teams to score. That is going to be the bet. Both teams to score. Yes is at a -175, so it's not the best bet in the world. But both teams to score. If it's a rain game, I feel like that would be a pretty certain thing. So you can go ahead and do that. Take it to the bank and thank me later. And by the way, this is not actual gambling advice. Please don't listen to me. I'm not a professional. I'm actually pretty bad at it. And then when it comes to a first of two back-to-back games against Atlanta, I will go ahead and say, like I mentioned it earlier, Iago and Brian Ojeda need to be careful. They are both on 4 yellow cards. So if they get a yellow card against Atlanta or against Philly, they will be suspended against Atlanta. Cleon, we got Atlanta twice in a row in a short period of time in our home stadium. What's your prediction for game 1 of 2?
Oh, Atlanta's got an L in as well. There's another loss.
oh man, you're down to 2018 levels of bad right now, are you not?
I'm trying to hit the reverse jinx. Trying to hit the
reverse jinx. Okay, well, I for one will never against Miami, against Atlanta. I am never going to predict losses against those teams because ain't no snowball chance in hell I'm going to give them any kind of credit. So go ahead and give me. What's that?
I said hi to your dog right there.
Did you see her? Or was it her reflection in this?
I see everything, bro.
Gotcha. See all. I love it. So yeah, I'm going to go give me. I don't even know who their defense is, who their goalkeeper is. Give me a 3-1 win over Atlanta. I'll give them a goal because we've been struggling defensively, but we're gonna get 3 in this one. Give me Pasalic a goal on his return. And give me a Martin Ojeda goal, and then give me a random player to score a goal. You know what? He got one in the Open Cup. Give me Iago to get one off a set piece because that man knows how to get up there and get a piece of it. So perfect week for me if we go ahead and get 6 points out of this week. That's something that we need to do. We get 6 points out of this week. I feel a lot more comfortable about where we are when Griezmann gets here post World Cup. Which, mind you, for the World Cup, we're probably going to be taking the time off because we don't usually cover too much as far as international soccer goes. If you guys want to hear from us, let us know. We'll take it from there. But wrapping up the show, Cleon, do you got any shout outs this week, my man?
I'm gonna shout out my fake job. I got to go to Chicago this week, so I'm gonna miss Atlanta this weekend. I hate that for myself.
Yeah, I know you love going to that game, and then you're also gonna miss both Atlanta games, aren't you?
Yeah. Well, I come back on the 19th, so
Depends on timing.
Technically. Depends on the timing, yeah.
Depends on the timing. All right. I gonna go ahead. I shouted it out last week, but I'm excited to, and I mentioned it earlier. I'm excited to watch the Punisher show tonight. I'm excited for the USA documentary. Daredevil Born Again season 2 was phenomenal television. Highly recommended if you didn't catch it. Shout out my New York Knicks. The New York Mets are giving me clinical depression, but the New York Knicks are doing awesome. So all the way to the finals. Hopefully we end up beating the team that the Orlando Magic were frauds against in Detroit, capitulated and fell apart. And last but not least, I want to go ahead and give just one more shout out to Jeff Radcliffe, friend of the show. Awful news to hear, but thoughts, condolences with his family, his loved ones. And he'll always be a Lion, forever a Lion if there ever was one. And we'll miss you, Jeff. So with that, I'll be back with Den After Dark tomorrow. We'll be able to talk after the Philly game. We love you. Be kind to one another. It's always Vamos Orlando. It's always Florida's purple. Win or lose, rain or shine, Orlando Lions Den is going to be here. Take care of each other, and we'll talk to y'all next time.
Thanks for joining us this week on the Orlando Lions Den podcast. Don't forget to follow us at Orlando Lions Den on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. See you next week in the Den.